dear friends, colleagues, we are continuing our big international project Futurum by Youth Club of Russian Compatriots with the support of representative of Federal Agency Rossotrudnichestvo, also known as Russian Culture Center in the Republic of Cyprus. I remind you that the goal of the project is to create a kind of scenario or online navigator for the future of the next decade. But it's very important that we are not just talking with experts about how it will be, we are also doing some folks of negative and positive scenarios, and also some kind of rules to escape the negative scenario as well. And today with us is Kyriacos Kokkinos, Deputy Minister of Research, Innovation, Digital Policy in the Republic of Cyprus. Thank you very much for being with us. For me, it's an honor. And I guess we'll have a very interesting talk with you. Thank you again. So when something is coming to our life new, there are a lot of questions like what are the main goals of Deputy Minister of Research, Innovation, Digital Policy? Because the name of it is like a little bit heavy.
Yeah. Well, actually, this ministry has the mandate of four key, not technological, but socioeconomic pillars. I say not technological, but socioeconomic because at the center of our mission is the citizen and the business community. How we leverage on technology to make Cyprus more competitive and social prosperity through technological advancements. There are four pillars, I said, and let me elaborate. One is the basic research, the capability of the country to create knowledge. How our youngsters, our academia encourages research and how startups are getting facilitated and supported to trust their capabilities and their knowledge creation capacities to go into the innovation. Innovation for entrepreneurship, but also innovation for the society. So research and innovation is one very basic, important pillar. The other pillar is the digital transformation pillar.
Important nowadays.
And when I say digital transformation, I do not constrain this to the in-government transformation, which is the way that the citizens interact and businesses with the government services, but the whole society. And in the whole society, that includes small, medium enterprises, startups, digital skills, and digital skills not just for the computer literate or the digital driven professions, but for the whole society. Third age, people that are not into the digital world, how do you enable the whole society, the fabric of the society to be able to function under the new normal of digitally driven world. The third pillar is telecommunications. And unfortunately in Cyprus we have a lot of work to do on that. We need, if you want to be digitally enabled, that means faster internet and cheaper internet.
Yeah, in Cyprus it's a big problem about the price.
So this is a key challenge. And the fourth domain is space. Space is not only for sending missions on the moon or Mars, but space is a technology enabler for communication and digital transformation. Because through the various satellites and then GPS and global positioning systems, you can really transform and change the way you facilitate the society with new solutions. Let's take the example, the very simple example of GPS, where we consider this as a given today. But 10 years ago, having GPS facility on your phone was a luxury. Okay? And 20 years ago, it was unthinkable. That means the deployment of satellite infrastructure around the globe. So my ministry, it's a people-centric ministry in the sense that we are here at the service of the citizen and the society and the business community through technology. We don't do technology for the sake of technology. I think that's my answer to your question. What is all this ministry all about?
Yeah, very full question. Yeah, we are talking about like innovation, digital policy and innovation in Cyprus and Europe. Features and differences. Do we have with them, or they just like the same, or Cyprus has got something interesting?
I mean, your question is how do we
compare
with the European Union?
Yes.
Cyprus is an integral part of the European Union. As a country, as a society, we are Europeans, we should act and we believe we act as Europeans. At the same time, Cyprus is a multicultural and a business-friendly jurisdiction, and it's not just limited to the welcoming of Europeans, but we welcome, we're an international business center in terms of business texture as well as in terms of cultural and economic activities. And this is very important for the sustainability of our economy. Let's take, for example, tourism.
Tourism.
The country is 800,000 people. Our tourism on the pre-pandemic period, we had 5-6 times our population size in terms of visitors. Let's take international businesses. A large part of our international business community is not EU. Nevertheless, as an EU country, we are fortunate enough to have a very concrete framework on the various digital programs for the transformation of European Union, and we certainly leverage and we take advantage of this. But we are also not just taking advantage of this, but we also contribute on the making of these frameworks. Let me give you a few examples. In February this year, we have announced at the European Union the Digital Euro program, which is a 9.2 billion program for the whole of Europe, for the digital transformation of Europe, which is focusing on the exploitation of specific technologies as well as the digital skills and the digital solutions for the whole of Europe. It's a competitive program where each country will apply for leveraging on this very important program. Now, this is 9.2 billion. There is another program, this is complementary to 2 other programs. The Horizon Euro program for the period of 21-27, which is nearly
7 years.
7 years. And this is 100 billion. But it's a research, innovation, and digital as well. It's not just on digital. So we have the 100 billion Horizon Euro, we have the 9.2 billion Digital Euro, and we have another 3.1 or 3.2, I'm not quite sure, which is the Connective Europe facility, which is for small, medium enterprises, encouraging collaboration between countries on the digitalization program, and that encourages collaboration not just between European Union countries, but with countries that are not European Union countries, like Russia and other geographies. So it's very important to ensure that we make the best use and we are an equal member of the European Union programs, not just in terms of using them, but also contributed on the making of them. At the same time, we remain a jurisdiction, a country that is a bridge between Europe, Middle East, Israel, North Africa, but also with very close affiliation with Russia. And this is very clearly understood, and it's our key difference between other geographies that are in the Central Europe.
Geopolitics, let's say, yes.
So our geopolitical and also economic business model is such that it's more of an international business center.
Oh yeah, we'll see what will happen like in the near 7 years, but hopefully everything will be okay. So electronic money and blockchain, is there any future in Cyprus? Or because for now, I guess in youth society, like everybody's talking about this, and universities, we see that a lot of programs are coming about this. What's your opinion?
Okay. Blockchain, if there is future on blockchain, there is future for blockchain for Cyprus as well.
Yes.
Let's put it this way. We need to be realistic about what we can expect and what we cannot expect from blockchain. As in every new technology, it seems to be a very promising technology. There is a lot of hype about it.
Yes.
Now we are going down the hill to stabilize and to have more realistic expectations, and then we will see very soon that it will become a mainstream technology with realistic, tangible outcomes. I think that as most of new technologies, blockchain is also going through this cycle, the hype cycle, and then the stabilization period. As you are probably aware, today we do not see at scale major blockchain applications. Nevertheless, the architecture, the philosophy, and the technology of blockchain is extremely promising, and it cannot be neglected. That's why all countries, and at the European Union, the European Blockchain Partnership, which is the platform of all European countries, are extremely committed on exploring the potential capabilities of blockchain. And in Cyprus, we are doing the same. We are a member of the European Blockchain Partnership. We know that it's a promising technology that is yet to be not proved, but to be discovered. And in the public sector, we are exploring the use of blockchain for specific domains in the economy, especially in the public sector, like in the healthcare sector, in the education sector, in the KYC, in the financial services sector. All these use cases, let's call them, for blockchain are under consideration. What is important, though, to note, and that demonstrates our commitment to DLT, the distributed ledger technologies, where blockchain belongs, DLT, is that at Ministerial Council level, we took a strategic decision and we adopted our national strategy for blockchain. Through this national strategy, there are two main streams of work that are currently under implementation. One is the technical stream, and the other is the legal stream. The work started in December last year. It will be completed by November this year. The legal framework for DLT technologies and blockchain will be presented at the Ministerial Council and then submitted to the Parliament for defining our legal and regulatory framework for blockchain. This is a work that is done in collaboration with a firm in New York, a legal firm. And I believe that the framework that is currently under construction will be, if not one of the most advanced frameworks and comprehensive frameworks for blockchain, legal frameworks, and this will encourage investors on blockchain and DLT to use Cyprus as a base. So, in short, yes, Cyprus is a blockchain-friendly island.
Very nice, yeah. Because we can see now, due to the situation around COVID-19, that new technologies are coming, online mass media is coming. I mean, like everything is about technical. With what challenges you faced during this lockdown, let's say?
Good
because
question.
It was like, I guess it was anyway a very challenging situation to all of us.
Well, let's first of all reiterate that the ministry started, its first day of operation was March 1st.
Yeah.
So we are pandemic native.
Yeah.
We were born with a pandemic. And in this context, you understand that this pandemic brought a lot of social, economic, communication challenges. And our job was, we didn't even have time to think or react, because our job was to act, not react.
You just do it like immediately.
Okay? No time to strategize, no time to think, no time to rethink and react. We have to act. So what we've done, first month of our existence under a lockdown, we had to, first of all, implement the lockdown through the SMS. You lived this.
Yes, yes.
And it was, Cyprus was the only country that implemented the lockdown through this SMS approach, to be so much restrictive in how many times you get, and you have to give a reason why you get out of your house.
Yeah, like to put the numbers.
Exactly. So no other country has done it this way. In Greece, they've done something similar, but there was no restrictions how many times you use it. You just have to give the reason why you get out of the house. And that was key instrumental. Then it was, to pay the people with the funds because of the lockdown, because they have been without salary, partial or total lockdown of businesses, and more than 50% of our workforce was eligible to receive money to make affordable this lockdown economically. We didn't have a system for that. We implemented this system in 15 days. And the normal period, that would have taken many months, if not years. So our focus during the lockdown was to provide better communication platforms, better remote working, remote education facilities to our students, to our people, and systems that could ease the life of our citizens and businesses during the lockdown. Looking back, if we've managed to succeed on that, I think that the general consensus in the society is that this ministry has done its job properly. What I say is that no, it's not this ministry, it's the government and the society that have facilitated this. It was not the job of just one ministry, it was the job of many, many people outside this ministry collaborating together. Yes, this ministry had the orchestration responsibility, but at the end of the day,
it's like common work.
Exactly. And I am a strong supporter of collaboration and not just
to do it by your own. We were talking about Russia at some point. We were talking about geopolitics. At this point, this year was celebrating 60 years from establishment diplomatic relationships between Russia and Cyprus. What do you think in Russia be for Cyprus something like strategic partner in the sphere of your deputy minister?
I think that Russia indisputably is a strong ally. We have strong relationship with Russia, not just on the economic and business, but also social and historic ties. And we see Russia as a strategic partner at all levels of our interactions. We have specific programs and specific protocols for collaboration and synergies. At the technology level, we have an MOU. I personally visited Skolkovo.
Very nice.
And we have a collaboration agreement and an MOU signed, and we exchange visits, and our ecosystem, research and innovation ecosystem is collaborating with Skolkovo, and many people from Skolkovo are collaborating with our local universities and researchers, and vice versa. At economic level, there is an MOU signed at the government level between the Republic of Cyprus and the Russian Federation for collaboration in the domains of healthcare, in the domains of pharmaceutical, in the domains of transport, and in the domains of climate. And I see this collaboration to be enhanced through additional programs and initiatives that are in the pipeline. In short, our economy, but also our people, are very closely tied together, and we very much believe in this kind of collaboration. Is to the mutual interest of our two countries. And what I want to encourage your youth members is to trust Cyprus, to live here. My ministry is open to receive any kind of recommendations or suggestions how to make their life easier, not just on the social level, but also on the technology level. What do I mean by that? I know that there is a very strong Russian community in Cyprus on the technology sector, programmers, data scientists, people that are on the technology side. And I want to see this community, which is a few thousands, probably 7,000, it's not small, to collaborate more with our academia and our research. For example, let's be practical. I could easily, and I will encourage this, our universities to build curriculums and education and training certification programs towards the needs of your compatriots, and subsidize these kind of programs, or bring them closer to the IT community of Cypriots that are serving the national needs, and share intellectual capital, share resources. I want to see more startups, and there are specific startup programs like our startup visa program. I want to encourage this kind of collaboration, not just at the mainstream business, but also on the startup community. And I have to praise the competency of our Russian education system on mathematics, on life sciences, especially in the biology and healthcare sector, on communication, especially on space. These kind of competencies are of high value to our society. And I believe that, and also on cyber, I forgot to mention cyber security and cyber. So we have a great need of this kind of competencies. And the cross-fertilization and the osmosis that can be done between the two communities is strongly encouraged by my ministry.
Okay, yeah, it's better to underline it's better to work together, not to have the two communities and just
exactly.
create the voice.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the last, but I guess the most important question from our youth organization: what's your secret of success? How to be successful?
You mean success as a professional or as a country?
Okay, let's start with professional, because if you will be professional, you can.
First of all, to the extent that I've been acquainted and interacted with your youth community, they already have the recipe. It's hard work.
Yeah.
Smile. Okay? And when I say smile, I mean that they don't get frustrated or distracted by the various obstacles that they will find on their way. They always smile and they overcome and they move on. And the third more important ingredient is ethics and values. It's extremely important. This is the recipe for success. Hard work and the capacity and the capability, because the capacity and capability to create knowledge is one thing, okay? If you put that into work, you create the intellectual capital. But then you need the soft skills, creative thinking, problem solving. Always don't get distracted, smile. And the third, business values and ethics. It's extremely important in a globalized economy to be able to have a framework, the code of conduct that will keep you on track as you progress upward. So the secret of success that I give to my kids, my recipe, it's this cocktail of business values and ethics, smile and hard work. And you will get there.
Okay, hopefully. Thank you very much for this interesting interview.
My pleasure. I'm always at your disposal.
Yeah, I understood what you mentioned about this collaboration between Russian compatriots and the IT sphere. So.
Thank you.